Welcome to another episode of Tom's Geeky Garage. Hope everyone had a good holiday season and a good New Year's. I decided to try to get like a new video out before the end of the year. So, project came to me. I remembered that when we did the 3D scan video, where we 3D scanned our Kenner Ecto 1 and we made our tiny Ecto, that I had a bunch of parts in a bin left over for an Ecto 1. And I wanted to restore those somehow or use them somehow. And then lately, we had this new trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife came out, and there's the scene where it shows the Ecto 1 ripping through the wheat field, and then the kids find the gunner seat. So I thought, well, that might be a cool project. What if I 3D print and design a gunner seat that pops out the side of the Kenner Ecto, and then maybe restore the Ecto I have to kind of match the movie Ecto. So that's kind of the game plan. So what I'm going to have to do is try to figure out the mechanism for the seat, and I don't want to like heavily change the outside shell of the Ecto. I want it to look just like it did from Kenner, except for having this added feature inside. Alright, so as you can see, we have all our parts for our Ecto 1 laid out. So now we need to sit and start to figure out how the mechanism will work. So what I'm thinking about right now is I'm thinking about having this seat split down the middle. So the driver's seat will be glued in and it'll be stationary, and the passenger seat will what eventually becomes the gunner seat. So I'm thinking what we'll do is we will cut out this door, and we will make it hinge like a suicide door. So this door will flip open this way, and then this door will flip open this way. So both doors will flip open, one this way and one this way. And I think the mechanism, what it will do is when the button is pressed wherever I put the button to actually release the chair, what it will do is it'll do kind of a two-action move. So the passenger seat itself will slide back to back here and then slide out. So it'll be like a chink chink kind of move. And this will be all like spring loaded, or it will be maybe rubber bands or something. I don't know what I'm going to drive it with, but yeah. So what it will do is the passenger seat, so whatever Ghostbuster is in the passenger seat will slide back, and then he will kick out, and then that will open up both of the side doors. I would like to make it where it only opens up the back door and it all comes out the back door, but because of Ghostbusters' legs, I need to actually have it, if he's going to come out sideways, I need to have it where it, probably both doors. I know, like, in the film, the actual seat is backwards and it, like, spins out. I'm not going to have room to do that because, like I said, the action figure's legs, they don't bend. So I need to make the chair work with their legs extended out. So I think having this seat slide back and then come out would be my best option. So I'm going to start trying to figure this out in the computer and see what we can do. Alright, so using a 3D model of an Ecto 1 I already had, I started kind of roughing out this slide mechanism. And you can see here I made little hooks that I want to stretch rubber bands around, and that will give the tension needed. So when you pull the switch, it releases the catch and the rubber bands will slide the chair out. Excuse me. At least that's the idea. I also was going to put ball bearings in these little grooves here to kind of help it slide, but I think it will probably work without them. So I might kill that idea, but I think this is going to work. One thing I do want to do is right now this switch will be basically in the back seat of the car, and I'd like to make it an external switch, so somewhere on the roof or on the side of the car to make the seat pop out rather than having to reach in the back. So that's something I'm going to have to figure out later, is how to replace this toggle switch with something like that. But, yeah, you can see those ball bearing grooves really good here. But, okay, moving on. Alright, so we have all our parts here that we're going to have to eventually dissect. We're going to have to cut out this section of the back to allow for the slide mechanism to fit. And we're going to have to cut the seat and eventually cut the doors, the windows, and the fins so we can have that suicide door open and close. Here's kind of a rough look at the mechanism that we had printed. I still have to assemble this with the catch switch and the rubber bands that will actually slide it out, but this is the thing. It stops there, so it's got a limiter, and this will go about right here. The seat will be glued over it, and it will allow the seat to come out about that far. So let me assemble this and then test it, and then we'll see where we're at. Alright, so this isn't exactly how I wanted it to work, but I had a bunch of errors and problems trying to problem solve it. I normally had a rubber band going around some connectors, but that was like too much power, and it basically shot this thing basically out and broke the end cap. So there's a stopper on it, but it snapped that off. So I had to kind of glue a band here, and this was designed to have a spring in it. And then since I was already working with rubber bands, I just basically rubber band this too. But other than that, I mean, it works. You just hit the button and then that will spring out, and then this will have the seat on it. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the seat and cut the base, and then we'll start testing this thing. Okay, so now we've cut this guy out, cut the seat in half. Driver's seat will go here. Other seat will go here somewhere. So now we'll add this piece and see where we're at. Alright, so I had this like really rough together. Obviously it's pretty ugly right now, but it's technically doing what it's supposed to do. You hit the button and the seat shoots out and it locks back in. So that's cool. See the little button here right now. Obviously this will be more of an external switch when we get closer to the end, but you can see how when it comes back it latches, locks it in place, and then you hit it, sending the seat back out. And that should be enough out of the vehicle. Boop. Nice, huh? Alright, so the next step is to work on the body and build the doors so the doors can fling open. And then obviously we'll come back through and we'll clean all this up. Add internals to the seats here, clean all this plastic work up so it doesn't look like I just whacked it in half. And fill in all these holes and just make it look nice. Yeah, right now it's working. Boop. I don't have a figure to put in it. You know, I'm thinking we might need to get a seat belt, or I think the figure would just shoot off the seat. Okay, so I just had to make a small modification because I normally had an internal end stop inside the mechanism that would catch a groove and make this chair stop at a certain point, but the pressure of the chair coming out keeps breaking it off, and I try to glue it on and it's just not working. So what I opted to do is I just put a rubber band strip across here, so when this comes, the catch that catches the switch also catches this little rubber band, which kind of stops it and kind of keeps it from flying out, and it kind of cushions the stop too, so it's not so jerky. And I'm liking the feel of that now, and it's more quiet. It's not like, it was really kind of like click, click, click before. Now it's real smooth. So I'm actually liking the feel of that.
So now we can move on to our next step. Boop. Okay. Yeah, liking it. Feeling good about it.